I want to challenge something that the entire online business world has been telling you. Find your passion, follow your purpose, do what you love, and the money will follow. Build a business around that thing that sets your soul on fire. And if you have not found that thing yet, keep looking, keep waiting, keep searching. I have a problem with that advice, not because passion is something that is bad, but because passion is one of the most unreliable fuels you can build a business on. And survival, the thing that nobody puts on a vision board, the thing that nobody talks about in mastermind rooms, it builds more discipline than passion ever could. And today I am going to show you exactly why. The passion narrative is not new. It has been the centerpiece of entrepreneurship culture for at least 2 decades. And at the surface, it is something that sounds right. Of course, you should love what you do. Of course, purpose is something that matters. Of course, you should build around something meaningful. But here is what the passion narrative it leaves out. Passion is inconsistent because this is something that can show up strong on Monday and then it disappears by Thursdays. It is high when the business is growing and it crashes when the slow months hit. It feels real when you first start and then it fades the moment that work stops being new. And if passion is the only thing holding your business together, your business is one hard season away from falling apart. And here's the other thing, the passion narrative, it was not written for everyone. It was written for people who already had enough, people who had enough savings to explore what they love, enough stability to wait for clarity, enough of a safety net to spend time searching for their purpose before it had to pay. So when someone tells you to follow your passion, they are often speaking from a place where following passion was an affordable option. But for Black women, for immigrant women, for women carrying families on their back, passion has always competed with something that was more urgent. And that is not a deficiency. That is actually the whole point that I want to make today. Here is what happens. When a woman believes she needs passion before she can start, she waits. She waits to feel called. She waits for clarity. She waits for the thing that lights her up to also be the thing that pays her. And while she waits, she watches other people build. She watches people who seem so certain about their calling, about their mission, about what they were born to do. And she starts to wonder, what is wrong with me? Why do I not feel that way? Why does everything I am good at feel more like a necessity than a calling? And the answer to that is that there's nothing wrong with her. She was just handed a story that was not built for her life. And here is what that waiting also cost her. It cost time, it cost income, and the compounding of experience she could have been building while she was waiting to feel inspired. It also cost her the clients that she could have served, the skills she could have sharpened, the confidence that only comes from actually doing the thing, not thinking about doing it. Every year she waited for passion, it was a year that she could have been building discipline. And discipline is what actually builds a business. So here is what I want to say clearly. Survival mode, it builds more discipline than passion ever could. And I want to show you exactly what I mean by that. Survival is something that is consistent. Passion has good days and it has bad days. Survival does not. When you build because you need it to work, you show up on the days that you do not feel like it. You do the work on the days that it does not feel exciting. You sit down at the desk, not because you are inspired, but because the need is still there. And showing up consistently on the uninspired days, it is the only thing that builds a business, not the good days, the consistent days. Passion gives you the good days. Survival gives you the consistent days. Survival forces you to get practical really fast. When you build from passion, you can spend months building a brand before you ever talk to a client. You are designing logos. You are designing the perfect website. You're perfecting your website. You're crafting your messages. You're choosing your colors because the brand feels like the point. But when you build from survival, you skip all of that. And it's not because the brand does not matter, but because the need is too immediate to wait for perfect. So you have the conversation first. You make the offer first. You get the client first. And in doing that, you end up learning more in 3 weeks than you have learned in 6 months of brand building. Survival builds resilience that passion cannot touch. Passion-driven entrepreneurs often quit when the passion fades, because when the excitement is gone and the slow month hits, because they will hit, and the hard client shows up and the algorithm changes on social media, passion does not have an answer for that, but need does. When you build because you need it to work, the slow month is not a sign for you to quit. It is a problem that you end up solving. The hard client is not a reason to close. It is a lesson on how to do this better. So survival keeps you in the game long enough to get really good at it. And good is what eventually becomes something that you love. The meaning, it comes after you start, not before. And this is the thing that nobody says. You do not find meaning first and then build around that meaning. You build, you serve someone. That person gets a result. And the result, it gives the work meaning. Not because you were passionate about the work itself, but because the work mattered to someone. And when something matters to someone, it starts to matter to you. That is where purpose comes from. Purpose doesn't come from searching for it, but from doing the work and letting it find you. So here's what I want to leave you with. If you have been waiting to feel passionate before you start building, stop waiting. Not because passion is not something that doesn't matter, but because you are using it as a condition for something that does not require it. You do not need to love what you build before you build it. You need a skill, a person who needs that skill, and a reason for you to show up on the days that it gets hard. Survival is that reason. And it is not the lesser reason. It is the more durable reason. And here's my personal lesson. I did not start building because I felt called. I started because I had to, because the need was real in my life. And the bills, they were real. The option of waiting for passion, it was a luxury that I did not have. And what I found instead on the other side of just starting was not what I expected at all. I found that I was really good at this, that people needed what I could do, that watching someone's business finally work after they could not figure out how to make it work, it gave me something passion never had. It gave me evidence, and evidence is the foundation that passion alone can never build. I'm Webley. I am a launch and funnel strategist. And if you are done waiting to feel ready, this channel is where you need to be. So hit subscribe and drop a comment below and tell me, are you building from passion or from survival or something in between? I want to know. And with that, I will see you in the next video.